very good morning. It's Wednesday, the 10th of February. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. Three things we will talk about. Digital euro may be a reality in 4 to 5 years. Earnings from Twitter, Cisco and Lyft. And investors switch out of duration. US stocks halted a 6-day winning streak, ending just in the red as investors debated the impact on inflation from another stimulus package and extended easy Fed policy. Tech shares inched up, with the Nasdaq adding just 0.1%. Treasuries advanced, pushing the 10-year yields down by about 2 basis points to below 1.16. The dollar fell across the board. Oil and gold both climbed, and Asian equity futures are mixed. Fed officials sound confident that price spikes will be at worst a transitory problem as the economy recovers. Robert Kaplan said, "The temporary jump in inflation or rise won't surprise me. The question for me will be how persistent it is, and on that the jury is out right now." The Dallas Chiefs' comments follow similar remarks from colleagues, and he joined them in expressing concern about the recent retail trader fuel volatility. Sticking with central bank comments, the digital euro may be a reality in 4 to 5 years is what the ECB board member Fabio Panetta mentioned, downplaying fears that it may destabilize the financial system. Private holdings could be limited to 3,000 euros to prevent bank runs, or interest could be used to make them unattractive beyond this amount, is what is the thought process that is being shared right now. Testing a digital euro in different cities could be a wise move, is what he remarked. Moving on to earnings, Twitter added users through the holiday quarter and said it continued to add more in January, a month when it booted one of its most prominent users, the former President Donald Trump. The company said Tuesday that user growth might slow this year compared with early months of the coronavirus pandemic, when many people started to spend time online and on social media. They also mentioned that Apple's pending privacy changes could have a modest impact on its advertising business. Twitter said it gained more daily users in Jan than the average number it had added in that month over the past 4 years, but the company declined to share more details. Twitter doesn't normally provide guidance on user growth for the current quarter, but said that it made an exception due to unusual circumstances, referring to Trump's suspension from the platform and the Jan 6th attack on the US Capitol by a mob of his supporters. Revenue for the period beat, buoyed by digital ads. Moving on to Lyft. Lyft's total ridership plunged from a year earlier, but is closer to break even as it squeezes more revenue out of each customer. It said its post-pandemic recovery remains uncertain. Cisco Systems reported no growth in quarterly revenue on Tuesday, sending its shares lower in extended trading. Sales in the fiscal quarter totaled about 12 billion, in line with a year earlier. Product revenue was about 8.57 billion, down from the same period a year ago. Service sales were up 2% to about 3.39 billion. A large portion of Cisco's revenue comes from selling expensive network hardware to government agencies, corporations, and telecom providers. Chief Executive Chuck Robbins has tried to shift that more towards software and subscriptions, although the pandemic has disrupted the effort. Cisco shares slipped about 3% in extended trading. Moving to some moves on the duration front, ETF investors are dumping treasuries in a hurry as bets on a global rebound in inflation build across asset classes. Roughly 639 million was pulled from the 15.7 billion iShares 20 plus year treasury bond ETF on Monday. That was the fund's biggest single day outflow since March, when the coronavirus pandemic fueled a sell-off in high quality bonds amid a cash crunch. Some corporate moves which I found significant, which we can mention here, is Boeing logged more monthly deliveries than Airbus for the first time since 2019 as the 737 MAX began to recover. Last month's handover of about 26 planes included 21 of MAX. It recorded its final 4 sales of the 747-8 freighter to Atlas Air, Elsewhere, Singapore Air is adding 11 more 777-9s to its order, but pared its Dreamliner commitment. GM is extending downturn at 3 North American plants until at least mid-March amid a global semiconductor shortage. It's diverting its chip supply to plants assembling higher margin SUVs and trucks, affecting output at other factories. The automaker will post results later today. Apple more than doubled road testing of its self-driving cars in 2020. This is according to California's DMV data. In the same space, Aurora Innovation agreed to a long-term strategic partnership with Toyota and its supplier Denso that aims to mass-produce autonomous vehicles and introduce them to ride-hailing network, including Uber, over the next few years. Nearer term, Toyota is expected to boost its full-year forecast when it reports results on Wednesday. This is according to Jefferies. So a lot of exciting things happening on the EV space. We'll keep a watch out on that. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll talk to you.